Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy OG Black. Smash, like, subscribe, hit that little OG button on the bottom. Don't forget, I got my other show, OG Black Show, on another channel. Look it up. You can find it on YouTube. Don't forget, my Patreon and my Cash App is open, and you get all the fire content on Patreon before you get it on here. All right, guys, I'm going to do a real good history lesson today, guys, on the war that's really happening in Sonora. A lot of people are always talking about what's going on in Michoacan or what's happening in Tijuana or what's happening in Juarez or what's happening in Sinaloa. But I'm going to talk about a family that's been wreaking havoc for the last 5 years. And a lot of people are like, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Los Salazars. Now, a lot of people don't know too much about Los Salazars, but your boy OG Black knows a lot about them. I've never really covered any stories about him or said anything about him, but I'm going to give you guys a brief history about him. So get your pens, your papers, your notepads, your recorders. Your boy OG Black's going to drop you that fire knowledge that other YouTubers don't want to drop you because they're a little worried or they're a little scared, or they're living in the belly of the beast, so they got to be careful what they say. I've lived in the belly of the beast. I live in the belly of the beast right now, and I ain't afraid to tell you guys this little story and tell you guys this little brief history about the Salazars that you guys may not know. All right, the Salazars have been around since the mid 90s. The guy that was in charge of them was called Don Adan Salazar Marrano. A lot of people called him Don Adan. The Salazars are originally from Chihuahua, guys, so you guys know. They're from the hills, they're ranchero guys. They grew up with the cows, the chickens, the vacas, all that, horses, 9 yards. They're a traditional mafia family. Um, you know, his job title, so you guys know, he was what you call a lieutenant or a boss for Chapo back in the 90s in Navajoa. Then he became the plaza boss for Chapo in Sonora. In the 90s, in the 80s, the Salazars were real famous at first for smuggling people. Now, smuggling people through Tijuana, through Mexicali had always been done, but the Salazars had the Sonora corridor, so they could get in people through the right, go in through Mexicali, cut in between Tijuana, and get them through right through there, and not pay a fee or a plaza to the Ariano Felixes or to anybody else. Because remember, guys, Ariano Felixes didn't take over the plaza of Tijuana until the into the 80s and the 90s, where that's when their full effect was going on. So the Salazars made a lot of money smuggling people. Later on, they turned in those drugs, those smuggling routes into drug trafficking routes, kind of like what my grandfather did. Maybe they took a note out of his book, maybe they took their own note out, but from my understanding, Don Adan and my grandfather were pretty good friends back in the old days because my grandfather was originally a smuggler of people. That's how we started. So you guys know, Don Adan was arrested in 2011. He's currently serving, I think, a 25 or 30-year sentence in Puente Grande, Jalisco. That's where they have him housed at. But in 2011, he was arrested, guys, and they took him in, and they took him in for some real serious charges of drug trafficking, murder, extortion, conspiracy to sell a ton of cocaine, a bunch of stuff. You know, um, in 2012, something really weird happened, man. And his son, Jesus Alfredo, was taken and arrested in 2012, just a year after he was arrested. And this is one of his favorite sons, Jesus Alfredo. And that's not the only thing that happened to them in 2012. And I'm going to get more into that. You know, his brother, Don Adan's brother, ended up taking control of the organization in 2012. But most people thought that Don Adan's son, and a lot of people don't like to talk about this, and it's kind of touchy subject, guys. So I'm not gonna get too into it, but I'm gonna let you guys know the real. A lot of people thought, and a lot of guys that work for the Salazars believe that Adan Jr. was to have full ranks of the family because he had been first knowledge. He had dealt with the Colombian connects. He had done the drug smuggling. He had worked, and he knew what's up. His uncle was kind of in the background, but also made decisions with his dad. As El Indio, as he's known, because they called him El Indio, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. He wasn't what you call a very nice guy. He wasn't a hey, let's talk this over. Hey, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. In the Mexican culture, when they call you you're an Indio, they mean that you're rugged, that you're rough, that you don't have really no consideration, kind of like the Aztecs did, that you're really sanguinario, that you're really bloodthirsty. You know what I mean? And El Indio was definitely one of those things. Besides his complexion of color. Um, so you guys know El Indio was killed. In 2006. I mean 2016, he was killed. It was a hard hit for Don Adan. But it was even a harder hit for his uncle, and his uncle showed his true colors. Don Crespin, as he's known in the area in Sonora or in Mexicali or in Tijuana or in Michoacan, as a lot of people know them too, in Chihuahua, took it real personal because Don Crespin was responsible for Adan or Indio. Remember, he was the head of the cartel from 2012 to presently. Don Crespin felt that he was responsible for his nephew's death, that he didn't take care of his nephew, that he didn't provide a good enough service, and good enough guidance and counsel for his nephew, which is not true, guys. Um, Later on, they found out how they killed Indio, and I'm not going to get into that because that's another story. But Don Crespin took it real personal. He ended up cleaning up the Plaza of Sonora and cleaning out all these other little towns and municipios that were around there, with the support of Chapo Guzman and his family and the families of the north and the south, like example, like the Garibay Felixes, like little Celdulas, the people who worked out in Ensenada and stuff came to the support of the Salazars. Um, after they had that little mining problem with the LeBarons, because the LeBarons kept selling gas and buying stuff from the guys from La Línea, it was a hard hit. It was a hard hit for the Salazars. But you guys, no matter what, the Salazars are a force to be reckoned with. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. It's your boy OG Black. Smash, like, subscribe. Remember, I got my other channel open. My PayPal and Patreon is open. Don't forget to subscribe to my Cash App. That's open too. We're not monetized and we don't get paid for this. And I hope you guys enjoy this Monday. It's a Monday Mafioso. And I hope you guys have a good one, and I'm out.